travel around the world. So, oh, good lord.
I was expecting all three.
Yeah, I wasn't either. But welcome to the Kicking the Peanut Show, where we talk about everything and anything and everything. Whatever's on our mind, we just, kick our stupid brains around talking about crap we've heard and what's going on in our lives and all that fun stuff. So, I am welcomed and lovely to be having a bunch of people here today. And I'm joined by Mr.
Hey, Xander.
Who's next?
I'm Creek Alley.
Huh? Who's also the... What? What was your name?
I think she said milk.
What? Milk.
Yep.
Milk. Who else is there? I know there's someone else there.
Pump.
It is
right now.
Sohan, buddy.
Yeah.
Sohan. We have a whole bunch of people here today. Hi-yo, but yeah, welcome to the Kicking the Peanut. I know, well...
Oh, 2 in a row!
Yeah, well, welcome to the Kicking the Peanut Show, where we just talk about anything and everything and what's on our minds today. So, anyways, who wants to kick this off with anything cool and interesting?
Well, I guess I'll start us off.
I prevented a murder today.
What?
A lot of things.
What?
Time
What about
travel,
a murder?
Explosions.
I prevented a murder today.
Oh, you did?
Self-control.
How so?
Lord.
You, the power of Control Alt, possibly. I don't know.
Control Alt deleted that video.
Well, anyway, no, let's be organized with this here, people. Miss Alice.
Come on, guys.
Miss Alice, what about you? Anything happened, with you in the past week? Anything interesting with you, individually? Anything you found interesting with current events, the news, socioeconomic, anything, we talked about the banks last week, so.
Yes, we did, and we also briefly talked about the whole thing with the power plant in Minnesota where they had knowledge of. Yeah, there we go. That was good, actually. Well, no, I do feel good, but no, actually, what I was about to say was the whole nuclear plant. It wasn't a nuclear power plant, but they used nuclear energy. I don't know how that works, but we were talking about this last week briefly about over 400,000 gallons of nuclear waste being dripped out into the tributaries out in Minnesota.
It wasn't waste. It was actually, I think, 200,000 gallons of nuclear contaminated water. So it's not waste.
No, 400. It was 400,000.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but it wasn't waste. It was a nuclear processing facility. So I believe they actually make the fuel rods and such that they use for the power plants.
Oh. So that's what got leaked. But they're saying, but yeah, we were talking about that last week, and now I've heard, actually, what I really wanted to talk to, because, we have this bad thing, we have East Palestine, but I wanted to actually talk about something kind of positive here, is the tributaries and water reservoirs out in California. There are some that have actually, quadrupled in size, or tripled in size. So they've...
Yeah.
But no, actually, if you look at, from, 10 months ago, back in May of 2022. Yeah, thank you guys. You find it funny, but
what's the deal with May?
Yeah, but May of 2022 to yep. Thank you. Yep. I'll bow down.
Yes,
Yes.
we have a really good view of your forehead right there.
Well, I know I got a 5 head. It looks like because my head, my there we go. But anyways, there's. Yes, 5 head. Yeah, it's a 4 head, 5 head.
Well, we have here, this time-lapse video we have from, July last year until March of this year. So it shows you, if anybody's watching the stream, you see the dramatic increase in the water levels.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, the water, no, that's a good thing.
It's fucked up if your house was in that area.
Well,
no, not in this, because this is already,
wow, look,
where's
that entire parking lot got submerged. Look at that. Look, there's this entire area.
In the wise words of Steely Dan's lyrics, California tumbles into the sea. That's the thing that could probably happen.
Well, yeah, it is a thing. But no, there's about 5 reservoirs that have reported, a double of their water levels over the last, from the last, year.
That's fucked up. They have a place named after
that's not,
soda,
dude.
too.
That's not fucked up. That's good. Because Yeah,
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, it's a good thing, Creek Alley, because we need water desperately. Like
Yeah,
this past
water,
winter,
like-
we've been getting so much rain and so much snow up in the mountains and everything. Like there's this one mountain we talked about this actually last weekend. The last Peanuts. There's this ski resort in one of the mountains out in Southern California, and it snowed 50 feet, which is more than twice the normal amount. It went up and it almost buried the ski lift. Like, we need that water really, really badly. It's a very good thing. So.
Yeah, this is not a fucked up thing. This is a good thing for California.
Yeah.
However, there is a downswing with it, because with all that water and all that dried up soil, like towards the edges and cliffs, you're getting a lot of landslides and mudslides from it.
Yeah.
So, so there's that. Yeah, but like, no, California is finally getting the much needed water. What I'm wondering about is, like, how is Lake Mead doing, like, from this? Like, is Lake Mead getting...
Lake Mead and Lake Powell, or whatever the one is behind it, they're on the other side of the rainfall and where all the snowmelt is going to go. So all of this wetness that you see that we're talking about, none of that is going to go in that direction. That's a whole nother biome itself, and that's not good, because that's the majority of not just the water, but the power, because of the hydroelectric dam at Hoover Dam.
Hoover Dam's using water because of it.
To the entire Southwest, Nevada, Las Vegas, Southern California, Los Angeles, San Diego, and then we also have, Tucson, such Arizona. Like all of those areas are very reliant on the Hoover Dam and Lake Mead behind it. And as I said before, Lake Mead is lower than when it first opened in 1935.
And especially over the last few years, there's been a huge drought out there. So I was wondering, because like you guys were getting hit really good out in Cali, that if like Arizona got some more rain and it actually helped with Lake Mead. That's what I was wondering.
Well, let's check it out right now. Actually, Lake Mead level. Let's see here. Lake Mead water level is at whatever this is. So here we go. So what is the red? So we're down by 2021. We're down by 2022. Okay, so this is what it shows. Like, so this is where it was at this time last year, and then 2 years ago, this is where it was. So look at the drastic decrease.
It's drastically. It hasn't improved much, but California at least has raised it. I'm just hoping that for the sake of Arizona and
No, Alice, all this California water, as I've said already, it does not affect the Hoover Dam at all. That's an entire state away.
Well, I know that. The Hoover Dam is more like, the Four Corners and stuff.
No.
Which is isn't the Hoover Dam part of the Four Corners?
No.
Oh. Well, not in the Four Corners, but part of the Four Corner states.
Oh. No. Absolutely not. The Hoover Dam is between Nevada and Arizona, Alice.
Well, Arizona's part of the Four Corners.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I think you're thinking too far south.
Yeah, no, Alice, look, see.
Let's go Arizona, Utah.
Let me change this to this. Okay.
Colorado.
Alice, you see, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Phoenix are the Four Corner states. The Hoover Dam is over here between Nevada and Arizona. If I zoom in right here,
that's in Nevada.
It's right here.
Guys,
it has nothing to do with California. Here it is right here, Nevada and Arizona. California is way over here. So all of the water and stuff has been going here. It has nothing to do with this biome whatsoever. Is what I'm saying. That's why I said earlier that all of this comes from a different source. It comes from this river up here that goes along in this direction.
For some reason, I was thinking that the Hoover Dam was like in Arizona, like California, Nevada area.
No.
And that's why I was thinking the Four Corner states. That's my own thought for geographic.
California is not part of the Four Corner states either, Alice.
Well, I know that. It's I was thinking Nevada was part of the Four Corners. That was my mistake.
No.
Yeah. See, hey, perfect laugh. Yep.
But anyway, like, let's move on.
Hey,
who wants the next turn?
Hey, no.
Okay.
Oh, Sohan. Yeah, Sohan, you take it. What's going on?
Yeah. Not much. Everything's been going good for me. I've noticed CEO of TikTok has been in trial lately.
Yeah, like are you talking about like in the congressional hearings and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, and actually I heard that in part of that, like one guy actually openly admitted to something stupid and got caught in it, but I can't remember exactly what his name was and what he said, but I saw a clip of it and I'm having a stoner brain fart right now.
So yeah, he was being grilled by both sides of the political parties.
Creek Alley, look at you.
They are wondering if they should ban the app. Honestly, no, they shouldn't, because it's not the government's choice to tell you if you should do something, do something or not.
It's your choice at the end of the day.
Are we talking about the Trump thing about his quote unquote arrest, not arrest?
The TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what about TikTok and Donald Trump?
No,
I know about the Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels thing, which is like old news, but
yeah, no, TikTok CEO has been in a testimony in Congress for
they were
a couple of days.
What were you saying?
Because Congress is trying to ban TikTok.
Oh yeah, like for people under 18 or something, right? They passed a bill.
I think they're trying to ban it throughout the entire country.
Well, actually, I'm not like against it, but at the same time, like the reason why I'm against TikTok is mostly because of like the small clips. It's training people to have short-term memory. Yeah.
Yo.
It trains you to have short-term memory.
I can't remember who it was, and I'm trying to, but somebody once.
You know who else said that, Alice?
Entertainment is going to limit itself.
Hold on, guys. Creek is trying to talk here.
Oh, sorry, I was saying, I forget who it was, but years and years ago, somebody said that entertainment is. What's the deal with entertainment? Is going to
over time
down.
Or just keep talk after the laugh.
Seconds, so on and so shorter, to keep people's attention. Because we're slowly but surely, as a collective, losing that attention to watch anything over fucking 2 minutes. God knows, if a YouTube video, I see the time and it's like 10 minutes, I'm skipping around. Come on.
Yeah, I used to be the same way for a while, and then like recently I've been getting a lot of.
But then I get on YouTube Shorts, and I can sit there for hours looking at.
Oh yeah, just swipe and swipe and swipe. Yeah. It's definitely like de-evolving the mind, where like people like only refrain things in small things like.
Attention span, and it has to get right to the point, or else it's like not interested.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I was saying too, man. Milk, what do you think about that?
What?
You're the spokesperson for the younger generation.
Yeah, you are the younger of us. Like with the impact of like these like little shorts that people are watching and just swiping and watching. Like, what do you think it does to people your age? Do you think it like?
I mean, with most of the things I have ADHD, so with my, I have a very short attention span. The only times that it is hard for me to pay attention is if the topic is uninteresting. TikTok and the shorts for YouTube have been, but it doesn't give you really what you need, because you can sit there forever and you'll forget half the stuff that you see.
Yeah. You like absorb, right?
Because it's not long enough for a lot of people's brains to like hold on to it, unless it's something that you actually care about.
Yeah.
It's just pumped in long enough for you to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you swipe it. You're like, oh.
And you swipe it, just like, and then you could, like, say that you take a test of, like, you test like 10 people of what they watch. So, like, you test people of what they watched on a short. They probably 9 times out of 10 they will not remember what they watched like a few shorts ago, because it's not something that you think of remembering. If you watch a video, like a YouTube video that's 10 minutes long, you may remember most things from it. because they were actually going into detail, not trying to pack something into like a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think like that's how they manipulate some people nowadays is like by doing these little 30-second clips, people will see them and think like, "Oh, well that's the truth of things." Even though it might not be factually real, but it's impacting people like where it's slowing down.
Like I'm just going to use this because this is what my brain went to. Like for presidents, say that you made all campaigns 10 like 30 minutes or 30 seconds long, and you only give the good things, and that's the only thing the campaigns are, then people will expect it to be a good thing, but then they become president and they don't do all the things that is in the thing.
That's a very good point.
It's not going to be what you think it's going to be.
That's a very good point. Like how like these little small clips can be edited perfectly where people can get manipulated into an ideology that might not be actually factual and truthful. Exactly. Like, Xander, I think we're having a good show today.
Hell yeah.
This is a really good point. And especially the way AI technology is getting, you can make virtually anybody say anything you fucking want them to. If I want Donald Trump to say, like, you know, grab her by the cooter, I play golf, and I like flaming hot Cheetos, I could absolutely make it sound exactly like he said.
With a deep fake and stuff like that,
along with it, where it looks like he's saying that exact, you know. It's like,
what was that, Milk?
There's a newer thing that I recently saw, because it'll come in through my TikTok or YouTube feed, where people have either created new AI things where, because I'm a story writer, I kind of write stories, where it can write a whole story if you give it a prompt, or it can make a whole new person and make it look like as real as you see me right now.
Oh yeah, no, like China has something like that. They have actually several news anchors that are completely like AI generated and voiced and all that stuff.
Fun fact, Xander's been AI this entire time. None of us
oh my God.
This is just an AI right here, over here with the OMNI Coalition.
If I were an AI, somebody would delete it. I'd tell you that. They'd be like, ah, shit, it got alcoholism. Delete.
Oh,
that's the fourth bot this week.
Rip.
Oh god. Wow. What?
It has brain issues. We gotta go.
Oops. Wah. But no, Sohan, what have you seen in the last week that like has been interesting for you in your local area? Because I know you're in the southern area and stuff. Like all of us are kind of spread out across each other. But Sohan, what's been going on down in the good old the deep south?
Fucking rain.
Oh. Yeah,
it's just rain.
I love rainy weather. I gotta be honest with you.
I do too.
Makes me
sleepy. Rain on a window, yeah.
Rain, go away.
If I hear rain hitting my window, I'm out in like 2 seconds.
I heard some.
1 in the afternoon.
Well, other than weather, but Sohan, I heard some weird like educational stuff going out in Louisiana. Like in New Orleans, like school district.
Of people from
really?
Is it
new to
me? Hear where everybody's from.
Oh wait.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the deep south right now.
Well,
we'll talk about
all the locations that we're all located.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the east. I'm in the east too. So, well, I'm actually originally a Midwestern. So, like, I think we all have it covered. Like, all of us on here. But Sohan, you seen any like malarkey stuff and crazy shit with news in your local area lately?
Not really.
Not really? Really?
I don't be watching the news as much.
Yeah, okay. Well, anything worthy of note for your last week in your life?
Besides that thing with TikTok, which you already know how I feel about it. Don't ban it because you can't have a government tell you what to do. It should be your choice. If you're stupid enough to, get on that app, then go ahead.
Well, yeah.
I don't have it personally, but I can see the appeal, like YouTube Shorts or even Instagram Reels. I find myself being on there for hours.
Instagram, Facebook,
goofy ass
TikTok,
content.
YouTube.
I barely
all
use
those
any of them now.
things.
Yeah, I barely use any of them now. Like, I only used my Facebook to, like, talk to my mom, like, back in Minnesota. And then I sometimes use it to, video chat my mom, my stepmom, when she's out with my dad out in, New Zealand. To, like, say hi and stuff, FaceTime and see their face. But generally when I talk to my dad, I don't do that.
Okay.
That's the only time I actually use it, and then to look at pictures of my grandniece and my nieces
I
growing
use,
up.
Facebook to talk to my fiance.
Well, there you
Okay,
go.
Alice, I think I know what you're talking about. Something did happen 2 days ago at the University of New Orleans.
Yep. I thought
Yeah,
I was wondering if
shut down amidst cybersecurity.
Yeah,
Yoda didn't even like that one.
that's interesting. Like, that's an interesting
Yeah.
thing. Like I said, like, I was thinking there was something going on. I heard something about it, but I was like, But I thought you knew about it more than I did. But yeah,
That's
like,
why I romanticize maybe and even yearn for
It's fucking crazy.
being in the 50s and 60s, even the 70s. I think the big reason is because I grew up with all the technology and the internet just started when I was growing up, and
yep.
Yeah.
I just longed
Well-
for a world personally where none of that is there, and it's more of
Well, I will pick the 80s because the 50s would be a death sentence for me.
Well, actually, technically, Queen
50s
Elizabeth
was the
sent the
revolution.
first. Well, Queen Elizabeth technically sent the first royal email
talking about
back
racial
in, what was it,
equality
in the
became a thing.
70s,
Yoda
Xander?
screams.
Hold on a second. Creek Alley, can you increase your outbound because it doesn't seem like people can hear you.
Outbound. Okay. By outbound, you're just talking in like fucking trucker speak.
As in
10-4,
the
buddy,
volume
my-
that we can
There
hear you at.
go. My input volume. Let me know when it gets a little better.
Yeah, that's better.
Any
Oh,
better.
dude.
There we go.
Whoa,
I don't want it to
you're
be too loud. I don't want it to be.
Well, it's
Well,
loud for me, but
I just
I
don't
can
want
actually, I
people
can fix
continuously
that.
talking over you.
But yeah, no, I think that's why I always kind of romanticize that time period. Is that people had more of a physical connection. You went out and you did stuff. I mean, it's easy to say that people were, happier then or thinner then or yada yada yada. First of all, a lot of coke and a lot of going out and doing things. But as a general rule, they were kind of happier in the 60s and 70s as opposed to today.
Also part of it, I think, might be because of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
You had more people in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and beyond before that were like, father and mother like households, and after that, like, it just got.
It was really
robbed.
cut and dry.
It got robbed somewhere, like, because, like,
I think after 9/11, all of those morals, like, going to church every Sunday with your family, spending time as a family, going out and doing things, a lot of that was after 9/11. It was like, nope, let's stay inside. Let's not do anything like that. What's this internet business? Email? That'll never catch on. Go fuck yourself, email. That sort of thing.
I think it's a mixture of both. Well, you had that, and then 20 years later, like, a few months later, you have the pandemic.
Yeah. Well,
And-
nowadays,
and-
yeah.
And so that's where I get, like, all weird. It's like, with what this was, like, it's like another form of the flu and respiratory. And people, like, I'm not denying that this is not, like, a bad, like, issue to get. Like, some people with COVID had the very most mild symptoms. Some people have the worst symptoms.
Then to make that noise and they
More people just had.
yeah.
It's on my bowl.
That's when the symptoms are bad. You can either have I feel good or
I feel good. I know. No, we like to have our random laugh tracks and stuff, and I think it adds a good little oomph to. And also, I want to see how people, like, stay focused after it goes off. That's, like, the other thing about that. So,
But about COVID, yeah, I feel like I used to have the same friend group since we all were in kindergarten and we grew up together, we became adults together. Now none of us hardly ever talk because of the pandemic. We never saw each other, never really did anything, and it's a real fucking bummer, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Well, like my
COVID
biggest bummer to COVID was the fact that I didn't get the jab, and my niece just gave birth to a kid, and so now I have a grandniece. And during her whole time as a baby, I never got to hold her because I wasn't allowed to see her. And I was told that by my family.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you get vaccinated, you can't come to our family things and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Now it's over and I could. But, like, I feel bad because my own family, like, well, because you did this, you couldn't do that. I'm like, well, you robbed me of something important to me. Like, that was my grandniece. I never got to hold her as a baby. And I had every right to. And I was not sick. I had no symptoms, no nothing. But because of this whole COVID thing, I got denied of holding her. And am I upset about it? Yeah. But am I gonna hate my family over it for their choices because, you know, they felt that way? No, I'm not gonna hate them over it either. Like, I've forgiven them and forgotten, but I'm not gonna forget.
The way I look at it now,
I forgive,
people are still that
forget.
way. People are still that way, though.
Oh no, there are
it's
some
been
people.
3 years. You know, my fiance still wears a mask when we go into the store, and especially working for the military, it's like it becomes such a problem with COVID, even to just get on the base. It's like, all right, listen, it's time to grow up. All right, it's done. We got over it. If you get it, okay. But it's time to grow up and focus on more important things than being scared about this, you know.
Yep.
I mean, it's just time that everybody
moves on.
Just let it go. Yeah, just fucking. I mean, I know from now on, since the pandemic, there'll always be that excuse for a lot of people. I don't want to go back to work. It's like, okay, then don't.
Then go live on the streets and be more of the problem.
Live in a fucking homeless community. Doesn't matter. That's gonna suck for you though once you get there.
Well, our tax dollars can only take so much. But
exactly,
also,
and people. My brother actually is one of those people. He took advantage of the checks that they were giving during COVID. You know, not going to work, just sending the money and all that, and he still hasn't gotten a job. I'm like, you need to get a job, and he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking do, because they're asking for a lot of that money back.
Yeah.
And you're going to have nowhere to go, no job to pay it back, no job to pay for your stuff. You're going to have nothing. You should not have relied on that from the government. First of all, you can't rely on the government for shit. And that's coming from somebody who works for the government. So that ought to tell you.
Is Milk sleeping?
No.
No? Oh. This way your head's angled.
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of tired. But
no, if you do sleep like that, it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker, though.
Yeah,
I sleep on my stomach.
It's gonna hurt.
You're gonna have a neck cramp there, baby.
I sleep on my stomach.
You're gonna wake up with like a bad case of ET.
Can't get any worse.
But no, like seriously, I understand. Like, well, what I feel bad about is like the nuclear family. Xander, you know about the nuclear family and
I'm
how
aware of the nuclear family, yes.
Yeah, and out in California, you've seen it more worse than a lot of other people, how that degrades the area because of it. Well, Xander, what is your experience about like the decline of like the nuclear family?
The nuclear family essentially
Can somebody explain really quick what the nuclear family is?
Yeah, he's about to. He's about to. So.
Essentially, the nuclear family is, you know, a mother, a father, you know, a couple of kids, you know.
The white picket fence.
Well, that's the dream. The actual family itself, the way it's constructed, like it allows for like self-sufficiency and population growth. Like all of this, like if you like a really good example of what they're trying to do to most people these days, they've already done to the black community. They went in there. Now, yeah, yes, the black community, was under like a lot of like bullshit and everything. So they had to rely only on themselves. The police weren't going to help them. Government wasn't going to help them. So they were a very communal society. And there is actually like I don't think it was. Maybe it was Larry. No, not Larry Elder, but there's some other guy that my dad listens to often, and he spoke once about having grown up in Harlem. It was not a crime-ridden, cesspit that we know of today. Like, yes, it wasn't the best neighborhood, but people actually went to bed with their doors unlocked because they had to rely only on each other. A very neighborly and communal society. Then Daddy Government came in and started giving, welfare and reparations, and started just giving them free shit. And then so they didn't need to work. They lost the ability to gain their own values and everything. And then now they're all just reliant they take birth control and everything, and the population is stagnated, and it's actually going in the opposite direction. The black community is shrinking because they have no moral values, unfortunately, because of what government has done to them. Like, government has got to get out of lives.
Well, call me Stevie Wonder, because I'm opening up a beer.
Well, no, Xander, what I was going to say, it's not just the black community that's hurting over this.
Well, yeah, now they're doing it to everybody.
It's every community.
Well, I know that. That's why I was saying, Alice. Like I was saying, they tested it with the black community starting back in the 60s, and then they saw how well that completely destroyed those people. So then they just expanded it to everybody, because at the end of the day, they want us to become a freaking communist fascist society, because it's cheaper, it's more efficient, and at the end of the day, when all chips are down, it gets the job done at the cost of human life,
Yeah.
Well, it only takes
risk human life, depend on your government, is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it only takes.
It's sort of like an ask, don't tell.
Well, it only takes them at our time.
Or don't ask, don't tell. Sorry.
I said it 3 times.
I'm sorry.
It only takes so much time before you can fluoridate our waters and docile us to be complacent with you. We know what you're doing, and eventually there are more of us than there are of them, and the reason why they're worried about that is why they want to depopulate, because then they can control a smaller population.
Exactly. See, if they
But it makes sense.
Especially now, with the technology we have in these days, it was the dream of the globalist elitists for the past several thousand years. Now everything can be automated. Everything is a machine. If they keep just enough of us plebs to keep, the machines oiled and the wheels turning, then they can live in complete luxury, have everything handed to them, and we're just the mechanics. That's all we are. Our use in their world is just to keep the machines, going. So until they can automate that, because at some point down the line, somebody has to put in the programming. But if they can automate everything, then they'll do that. And then we're looking at a society very akin to, if you've ever seen the Animatrix, right before the second Renaissance, when everybody was living in the lap of luxury. That's what the elitists want for themselves. We're only around until they can automate, the robots to maintain and take care of themselves and upgrade themselves, and then they'll just eliminate us.
That's another thing I wanted to touch on that I was thinking of, is the morals of robots. They're getting to a point now where they're so realistic. Is it not just the same as having slaves? Where does it draw the line between inhumane and humane? If they can think for themselves, speak for themselves and everything, but we use them only for shit around the house. If I took shit on my carpet right now, a motherfucker would probably come up and clean it, right? So, where does the degrading, you do everything around the house, do this and that, when does that draw the line morally where it's not alright?
It's not just that. It's, if you look at stuff like ChatGPT.
Why does that fish noise, by the way, have so much reverb?
I don't know.
It gets me every time.
Is it mean?
God damn it.
No. It's somebody edited the video. But no, like.
No, I don't. Oh no, I'm not actually listening to the stream anymore. Where I hear the laugh track. So.
I just hear it through people's.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that recently.
It's because I'm on the stream.
The point I'm trying to make is recently I saw an article that ChatGPT was used to pass with a 90% success score the bar exam for lawyers.
What?
Well,
Yes.
it doesn't take much for a lawyer, by the way. Ayo!
Oh, God.
What's the deal with lawyers?
All jokes aside, though, like that, because we're talking about AI, and there's so many different ways you can go with talking about AI, because there's so many things that they can do in today's world. But what's really scary is we are at serious risk of, within the next couple of generations, losing literacy on a serious level.
Yeah. AI is a danger, in my opinion. It's not a plus. It's not anything fun.
No.
It was fun in the beginning, but it is a danger. It is a danger. It's not the biggest, but it is a danger, AI.
The biggest danger is lessening the education of our children.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
But see, you have AI. You have, speech to text. I can literally talk to my phone and have it text, people. There's people out there with smart houses. I mean, hell, what the hell is a smart light bulb? You talk to your light bulb.
I was literally gonna say, I actually have a Bluetooth light bulb in my room.
Wow.
But I do like that. There's a difference between shit like that and shit that harms. Like shit like that, I love being able to just stay in my bed, go on my phone, and fucking turn off my light bulb.
No, that just makes you lazy. Why don't you just go outside and help the community and then
touch some grass
on your bed?
Yeah, go touch
why
grass.
don't you go outside, help your community in some way or another?
I do that, but at the end of the day,
and then scroll up
And I also when I get high, I can change it to a different color. That's very fun when you're stuck.
Yeah.
You change your whole room light to like a purple. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
That is though. You can't deny it.
Hang on. Are you talking about like a light bulb where you can change colors?
Yeah, it's an app on your phone. It connects to the light bulb, and then you can change. You can do certain effects with it and stuff. That stuff like that. That's harmless. That's fine.
Okay.
But yet there's other AI stuff or computer technology stuff where it really modern, I should say, that is harmful, like making people fucking stupid.
So how about this?
Or
how about that? Dude.
Like my color changing light bulb doesn't make me stupid. I guess it does because I paid for it. But
What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing?
Oh shit! Yeah, just like that. Oh yes, you set it to a sentence. Is that a genie light? Geeni?
Genie?
No, it's just a light I have.
That's a badass
I can make it purple. Here.
I love it.
Purple.
I love it. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's my favorite color.
But anyway, no, that's neither here nor there. Like the point is, you can do all that.
The point is, stuff like that is great. But then there's the other hand of technology and AI and shit like that, where it's just it's not gonna go anywhere good. I can guarantee you.
Like you're talking about there should be like a limit to what we make things do.
Yeah.
Like any normal person should think, because I mean
that's a phenomenal way of putting it, actually. Yeah.
And the only thing that's going through my head right now is fucking Wall-E.
Wow.
Yeah, bunch of.
Okay, listen.
We're
heading that way.
Okay, so listen. I grew up on. I grew up on a certain YouTuber. His name is Game Theory. It's not that. And one of the things he was talking about was
just a game theory.
Yeah.
Just a theory. A game theory.
It's for watching. Anyways. I was watching his thing on Wall-E where he was talking about they had to leave because of how much stuff they started doing with the world, with electronics and all that. They had to leave, and due to the fact that they could not fix it in time, they had to stay in space. And although one of the theories, it was in his Cannibal Week thing that he did, and he was talking about how there was no older people there at all. And all they were drinking were slushies. So he was like, hey, hello there. But it's also a thing where none of them knew how to walk. None of them could walk. all of the babies were taken care of by robots.
Much like with the walking, it could be said for other stuff where people rely so much on what we have now. Like the register went down at McDonald's. I couldn't buy a burger with cash because they only knew how to take card. I was like, what the fuck? That's like, you're relying too heavily on it.
Yeah.
If you look at Wall-E,
I've got the fade. I've got the fade going.
If you look at Wall-E and the way that it is on the ship, that is what we are going to become, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
None of us will be able to do anything on our own. All of our children will be taken care of by robots that could most likely turn on us and kill everybody in the world.
And like I said, you look at the 60s and the 70s and the atomic family, and you look back on that, and that's just the polar opposite of where we're heading. Though we should just do a fucking U-turn and go right back to that. Like, oh, you're right.
Hey, what are you guys all personally doing to prevent that for your future spawns? For your if you have kids, like I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews. I wish I could, but like, what are you doing? What could we do to prevent that? And
the
this
latest
is where
thing I did was
teach
bring my
people
nephew.
how to bushcraft, and you have to learn how to bushcraft.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to self-sustain, and learn how to like collect energy. And you don't have to do it with a solar panel for thousands of dollars.
When my nephew was about 10, I brought him to a drive-in with my classic car, and that spawned a chain reaction, where he just wanted to learn everything about the past, listen to the music, you know, like. Everything, and I was like, oh, fuck, I at least did something good once in my life, and they were like, yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't want to glorify the past, because yeah, it does have its downsides. There was a lot of turbulent shit going on where it wasn't good, but at the very same time, I mean, I would give anything to live in that time, just to experience real human connection. And, you know, the only electronic in your house is your fucking TV that doesn't even come in color. So...
You know what I, like, imagined was, back before there was electricity, and relying on just...
That's also a really
cool
time, yeah.
Well, that's why I'm saying bushcraft stuff. Like...
Well, have you seen the channel, Townsend's, by any chance?
What? What was it called?
Townsend's, they do like 18th century, 16th century stuff. It's really informative. Shows you how to build like a home, how to start fires, how to do everything like they did before all of anything we rely on. And for those who haven't seen it, the way the world's heading, I suggest you watch it.
I suggest everybody should learn how to do some kind of like...
Everybody should watch Duck and Cover from the 50s.
Actually,
if the nuclear bomb goes off, just duck and cover, because
this duck and covering is not going to fucking help you for a nuclear blast. However,
you'll be dead, but it's some form of safety, I suppose, in quotation marks.
Anything that make you feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read a pull of Kurt Cobain.
What's that?
I read a pull of Kurt Cobain in Duck and Cover.
Huh. Wow, that's kind of dark.
Oh, so you want Courtney Love to come out there and have someone shoot your brain out with a shotgun?
Oh yeah, Courtney Love absolutely killed the motherfucker. I gotta tell you that right now, right here.
She didn't.
That shotgun was longer than shit.
Hang on. Now, I know this better than you because I've been around longer than you, and
I also don't like Nirvana that much. I'm more of a Beatles guy, so fair enough. Go off, Queen.
Okay, well, I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter like what you're. Oh, just because I'm a Beatles fan, it means nothing. Actually.
I was shitting something.
I think somebody pulled the trigger, but it wasn't Courtney Love. And I think, and there's a book out there called "Who Killed Kurt Cobain." It was done by 2 private investigators. I actually read the whole book. This was back in like 2005, 2006. I read the book, and it implements David Grohl and some other people, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like you know who killed Kurt Cobain?
himself.
Society.
Well, that, yeah. That's what I was going for, but I also think it had to do with drug use and alcohol abuse and stuff like that. I'll
You mean
admit,
heroin
well, yeah, well, that's why I said drug, but I mean, I'll admit, even being an alcoholic, there are times when I get absolutely trashed, and I'm like, fuck it, you know, who's gonna, you know, like you start getting in this mindset of depression, but at the same token, it's like, it's gonna happen eventually, so just wait it out.
Hey, Xander.
Yeah.
I didn't cough.
You didn't cough?
That was a good hit.
Oh. Oh, snap.
No Scooby snap. Oh, yeah, don't.
Now I did.
Ah, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is.
But I want to use my turn for something I've learned recently. My grandmother has been dishing out a lot of weird things about the family since she's close to death. She's, I think, 88 now.
It's time.
I'm here.
And
oh yeah.
And my great uncle, that's a fucking nice bong for one. That's a very nice bong, Xander. I love it. Great piece.
Very simple.
Water pieces.
Damn.
Water pieces are my favorite. All right, if I'm gonna smoke weed, it has to be a water piece.
Freaking
right?
Alice is dying. Jesus, lady.
Okie dokie. But my grandmother was telling me about my great uncle, who was very prominent in Vietnam. He was. I mean, I don't know what he did personally because it wasn't really talked about. But she's been airing out a lot of old dirt. And he died in 1973, I think. And they went to identify the body at the car crash site. And both her and my great-grandfather said that's not him. And they were like, yes, it is. So they, you know, yada yada, moved on. Probably 75, she hired a private investigator to look into the event. And the private investigator came back and said, I suggest you don't look into this any further. On top of that, she was sending letters to her sister at the time about the incident. And the mailman put the letters back, opened, and said, you're not supposed to send these. And he gave them back to her.
Dang.
It's fucked up.
Jesus.
Now, I got photos of him the other day to restore. And, because if anybody has old family photos, send them my way. I can restore it to HD. Just saying, throwing that out there. Hate to plug my shit, but I could do art. I could do art from the 60s and 70s and restore old family photos for you anytime.
Oh, dude. Really?
No,
free?
Absolutely, yeah. For free, yes. If you have any old family photos that you want in color, HD, full 1080p, fucking send them my way, please. I love doing that shit.
I might have something.
I hope so. I love that shit. I love it. Hold on, let me get my iPad real quick. I'll show you an example.
In Minnesota in the storage with a friend.
I have a question because I've been like coming back and leaving and coming back. What have we talked about while I was gone?
A lot of stuff.
A whole lot of stuff.
We spoke about AI for a while.
Yeah, and I also like I saw you dancing around, so I started doing like weird hand gestures with you, and you started doing back, so that's why I was doing like that weird crap. But I was seeing you, Mel, do some like stuff, and I was like, so I was like kind of like dancing with you, and I was like,
and then I'm trying to keep my brain away.
I'm back. I gotta show you this.
No, yeah, like she was moving around, so I was kind of like moving around, doing weird things, kind of whatever.
Yeah. Hey, I got something.
What, Sohan? What do you got? Ooh.
What is that?
So really quick, this is the original photo.
Wait, no, Sohan said he has something. What you got,
This is the original.
Sohan?
Oh wait, yeah, I'll let them do their thing. I was gone. I apologize.
No, it's okay, hon. We still love you. But Sohan.
Oh.
What you got?
Oh.
Oh, it's a walk-in. Nice.
Oh wait, no. Oh why? Oh, I can't see it.
Learn that people used to put hair.
let me back out and then pop back in.
People did put hair in lockets. That's weird.
Yes, they did.
That's like almost a fetish thing. I feel
People-
like.
No, this ain't hair in this one.
Oh, that's
People
cute.
put hair in lockets, and then they also would make hair, art out of hair of their dead relatives.
Xander.
That's fucked up.
Her birthstone.
Look it up. Look it up.
I'm not
look
gonna
up.
make no grandpa hair fucking image. Tell you that.
Look it up. Look
I
up
believe
hair
you.
art. It's like really pretty, but it's also really fucking weird.
This is gonna sound really fucked up, but there's also period blood art that looks phenomenal, but the
That's her
subject of it is
birthstone.
really fucked up.
Fingerprint.
I love
Hey.
that.
So, what's everybody's birthstone, by the way?
I don't know my
I
birth.
don't know mine.
Yeah,
I was born on September 29th at 9:29.
Okay, well,
I did not know
then
my stone.
you and I.
But really
have-
quick,
hey,
really
hang on.
quick. Speaking of the, before I forget, the old restorations. Here's the original. This is my grandfather being a fucking moron.
Oh, nice.
But it went from that to this.
Oh. Look at that mustache.
That's not a bad mustache.
No,
Probably,
anyways, no, I
cookie
can actually
duster.
answer. I know your birthstone because you get the same birthstone as me, so don't worry. Sohan, what's
there
your
we go.
birthstone?
No
Peridot.
background. It's a lot better to
What?
see it.
Peridot.
Oh,
Peridot?
Peridot.
What?
Yeah.
What is? Xander, can you pull up what that is? What month is
It's like
that?
the poor man's emerald.
Emerald. Oh, emerald. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So you're
it's the
emerald.
poor man's emerald.
Mine is apparently
Peridot.
No,
sapphire.
yeah,
Mine's
it is
emerald.
sapphire.
Oh
It is
my
sapphire.
god. And the Steven Universe one comes up, of course.
What? So, hey, I love the little dude. Did you see the guy with the hands out? Oh, hey, there's so hands right there. Yeah, right there. Clicking on it. Yep. This is Sohan's, dude. That should be Sohan's freaking profile picture. The guy with his hands out, right on the top, second one on over.
This one?
Another guy.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's from Steven
That should be
Universe.
Sohan's picture.
That's from Steven Universe, Alice.
Oh, I didn't know. But anyway, so
Also-
that's your birthstone.
And yep, and this locket contains my mom's ashes.
Oh man,
Oh,
Oh,
dude, that's
That-
actually really.
that's a piece.
that is a priceless artifact right there.
Oh, dude. So yeah, that's like basically emerald, right?
It's
Alright.
called the poor man's emerald.
The poor man's. I don't think that's a poor man's emerald.
No, that's a shitty thing to call it because you're rich,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. Because that's
No, like that's
somebody
a
who
cool-
raised you and loved you. You're rich in love, not in anything else. But to have that as a stone as well, and know that it's somebody you loved and somebody who loved you. That's
Yep.
poor man's emerald, my ass. That's the best thing in existence.
Xander, you're February, and I can't remember your.
Xander's
gemstone.
gonna
What's
pass
your
out stones made of him, and I'm gonna turn it into a brass knuckle.
Oh
is
my
what I'm gonna
God.
do.
gemstone? No,
Well, I know
Xander's
I remember
stone
my-
is gonna be in a
Fe-
brass
it's
knuckle from
February ruby.
Good
It's
lord.
Make sure
February
you
ru-
throat check liberal.
Yeah,
I
no,
will.
Xander,
I'll
is
absolutely
February
knock him out with it.
ruby, or is it?
What?
Or is it? No, February. The birthstone for February. Is it ruby?
I don't
No,
think
I
so.
can't- No, I don't think it is either. But like, God, I know. What's
You know what?
your
I can
What's your
look this up.
birthstone?
I just realized that
First
looks like Paul
stone is
McCartney. I'm not
amethyst.
right with
Oh, dude, Xander, that makes so much sense with you now.
Yeah, purple.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, no amethyst. Oh my God, that's
That's what I call.
that's
I call my PC the amethyst
Hey.
beast.
Well, here's a fun thing about amethyst. Is like, actually, like they give it out to people for like AA and stuff like that and recovery because
I
it's
would
an
never known.
energy. It's an energy stone. It gives
Yeah.
good energy and stuff. But you never wear it when you're sleeping because apparently it'll keep you awake at night because of the energy it gives off.
I
There's
have
something
amethyst.
about amethyst is a positive energy stone. It's
have
really beautiful, but no,
So
I
amethyst.
What
I
about
did the
quartz?
shelf
What is
with-
quartz?
quartz is I've actually I used to collect agates when I lived back in Minnesota, but I've actually come into quartzite agates, which is like quartz is a really like kind of hard stone that's kind of can be kind of clear and cloudy, but it's also like crystallizes. You know, have you ever seen those gemstones with like kind of like natural like obelisk like shapes? That's a lot of time it's quartz with gem with it. Quartz and quartzite are wonderful things. I've found agates with quartz in the center of it, like that were like you know, if you cut it in half or break it in half, you can see some crazy crap in the like this.
Hey Xander,
up in Minnesota.
Oh, sorry. Would you mind reading off that article that I sent you? Because that is my only hope for things.
The rotating universe
I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to talk about the other.
But I like the way you go through articles and you narrow it down and do the best points. So I figured I'd leave it up to you instead of me, where I just ramble on.
All right. Well, I'll read this real quick. We are approaching our hour here, so let me just read this real quick. From phys.org, how a rotating universe makes time travel possible. It turns out that time travel into the past is actually relatively easy. All you need to do is make the universe rotate. Well, that, you know, is an old Superman theory. The famous mathematician Kurt Gödel was a friend and neighbor of Albert Einstein at Princeton. He became incredibly curious about Einstein's general theory of relativity, which was and continues to be our modern formulation of the gravitational force. That theory connects the presence of matter and energy to the bending and warping of space and time, and then connects the bending of that bending and warping to the behavior of matter and energy. So, so essentially, it sounds like just make the universe rotate the opposite direction. So, like what Superman did, but you know, beyond the Earth. So, essentially that.
So everybody can have their own atomic family.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody fucking dead.
But yeah, no, like
we went through yours, Xander. We went through yours. We have Sapphire now. Remember, I was on
Jesus.
So
I do believe Sapphire is mine.
Yep, and mine too. I'm in September as well. Actually, Xander, look up Sapphire. Sapphire is very unique for one reason, because it comes in very, very many more colors than any of the other gemstones.
You are correct.
So like blue, it's not just a blue fucking stone.
No, dude, no. It comes in green, yellow, white.
Holy shit! We got our own fucking choice about it. Ah, September for the win! Yeah!
Ooh, look at black.
Yeah. Yeah, the black sapphire. Like, there,
Like,
there's also
like,
a
has
blue
its little
diamond.
star inside it.
Dude, no, that far left, right-hand corner one, that one looks,
inside of of it.
Oh, dude, I hear my boyfriend doing.
Eagles.
Oh my god, he's doing Sheriff Wilson. My boyfriend, Sheriff Wilsoning.
Oh god.
Oh god, but no, like Sapphire is a very unique gem because it comes in so many colors. However, my favorite.
And those from September have so many different modes and moods and personalities, much like the stones.
Well, not all Virgos are organized.
Ah, I was trying to be prophetic, and you spit in my mouth.
Well, I'm a September baby too, okay? But I'm also a Reagan baby, so.
Oh yeah, Reagan was awesome. I'm just gonna throw that out there. He was. Tell the Russians about Project Star Wars. Does anybody know about that?
Well,
I know about Project Star Wars.
Say,
Project Star Wars.
Dude, I just like to. No, I just like to say that, like,
stupid Russians.
One thing I liked about Reagan is that he had a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I feel good.
That's what the one thing they got right in Back to the Future was when he was telling him that Reagan was president. He's like, the actor, you know? It's like I sometimes forget that Reagan was an actor before being president.
Reagan actually, before Reagan, when he was on the road to become governor of California, he actually spoke at my dad's graduation.
Wow.
From high school, yeah. That was before he was governor of the state out here, and he was just like, "Oh, look at this two-bit actor. You know, why is he here?" He was like not happy.
My grandparents had dinner with Nixon once.
Oh wow.
That was no good.
Did he steal
That was
the
before
silverware?
he was president, before anything. And my grandmother went home that night and told my grandfather, "What a fucking schmuck." And I was like, "Oh, yep, fits the bill." You know. Although, honestly, oh, that's a whole theory for a whole separate show. You'll just have to tune in next week. JFK, Nixon, LBJ.
Well, let's wrap us up here, guys.
Yeah. That's why I said we'll save it for another show, another time.
Oh my god, we got 3 offs at the same time. That was insanity. Miss Alice, do you want to wrap us up?
Wrap it up.
Are you there?
Listen, would you wrap up the show? I'm gonna see if I can get
Get the fuck on with it.
Alright.
Alright, okay. Well,
We're only on a half hour.
well, thank you all and everybody for joining the Kicking the Peanut show today. It was very interesting and fun. We talked about a whole bunch of fun stuff and everything was interesting. Woo!
Yeah.
Anywho, I am Who is Alice, and I am accompanied by many folks, and I will let them say their names.
I am
now.
Xander.
I am Creek Alley, and I'm brought to you by Lucky Strike.
Woohoo!
And milk brought to you by cows.
Moo.
And I am so here. Joe Biden approved.
Oh god.
Oh, let's go. Brandon.
Not good.
He's so confused. Doesn't know what he signed up for.
This is
I
probably.
have no idea what I signed up for. Huh?
I am.
Joe Biden looks like dirty old paper. There, I said it.
Pressure.
And if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Oh god, come on.
Oh no, we're not doing that. No.
And there goes the show.
Alright,
It's ended.
I'm ending the stream, you crazy
wow.
people.
Yeah.
I'm Joe Biden.
Hopefully.
Welcome to Jackass.
Hey,
Let's
until
go,
you catch us
Brandon.
next week, or if you're interested in some history, we have a history show every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. Usually we do this show at, it used to be 2, but now it's 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 4 p.m. Mountain.
And 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, 5 p.m. Central, but Sohan is muted.